conspiracy to commit murder.
All right, y'all, you're locked in here to the Midwest Mayhem.
I still always want to show up, and that's just, I have not lost any passion for the job.
Welcome to the Midwest Mayhem Podcast with your host Tyler and Lockie. This is where small town stories, wild headlines, and real conversations come together. We also shine a light on first responders, veterans, and on mental health. Because every voice deserves to be heard. This is the Midwest Mayhem Podcast.
I've been an open book about mental health.
From a federal prison.
Your fake leader hiding behind the title.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Midwest Mayhem Podcast. I'm your host Tyler, and with me in studio today is my good friend Lockie. And we also have our special guest today for Voices of Valor, Brandon Hall from the Leadwood Fire Protection District, who has spent 17 years of his life with the fire department. Brandon, welcome in, and we're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You a little nervous?
A little bit.
Ain't nothing to be nervous about. We make it through this somehow every weekend. I'm not sure. Brandon, is there anybody you'd like to dedicate this episode to?
I dedicate it to my mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
And his mom was one special lady. She was a cook at West County Middle School for many, many years, and was all around a great person. And she definitely raised a great kid, even though he was kind of a shithead to me and many other people.
You can always tell a good boy, though, when they love their mama.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So, Julie, this one goes out to you. That is Julie Hall, and she's no longer with us, but she's always with us in memory. So, this episode is dedicated to her, and we're glad to have Brandon here with us today. Brandon's story is one of service, fatherhood, perseverance, proof that courage doesn't just happen on the fire ground, but also in a quiet strength it takes to keep going when life gets hard. So we're proud to have Brandon here with us today, and we're going to get started here with some questions, and I've been ready for this episode for quite a while, so we're going to see if it lives up to Tommy a couple weekends ago. So Brandon, let's start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you first got into the fire service.
So I started the fire service when I was 13 years old, and I got into it. My uncle was a fireman. He was there for, 30 some odd years before he passed. His dad was a fire chief, and just kind of fell into it. I always wanted to do it. I got to go to calls with him whenever I was little, and I don't know, I fell in love with it. Whenever I was a kid, I hated fire trucks. I'd sit in parades, sit outside them, people would throw candy, I'd hold my ears and cry. I hated the siren, and now people hate me for blaring it in their ears, so.
No, go ahead.
I still stand outside and cry, but it's not fire.
And I think we all did, because that's how I was too. I hated because I was a weird kid, still a weird adult, but now, I mean, my favorite thing is the queue, going through an intersection and getting to blow that horn. It's unreal.
Oh, man. It's crazy you didn't like fire trucks. Now you're a captain of the fire department.
I always liked the firemen.
Yeah.
I know about the fire trucks.
Firemen or something else. Okay, so you got to experience that with your uncle, the taste of adrenaline at the age of 13. What was there? Someone other than your uncle, or was it just your uncle that inspired you to join Leadwood?
I mean, it's pretty much just him. So the year that I actually got to start, he passed away from lung cancer. It was kind of unexpected. He got diagnosed, and they told him that he had 3 months to live. And I mean, 3 months to the day, he was gone. And it sucked. I got to start, I think he died in the summertime, if I remember right, and I got to start in November, so
wow.
I never got the chance to actually, I guess, legally be a volunteer with him, but I like to think that I stepped in where he left off, and I don't know, people tell me a lot that I remind them of him, and we weren't biologically related at all, but apparently he was an asshole too, so.
Well, we all know who Brandon Hall is. You hear that, you hear B. Hall or Brandon Hall, I know what I think of. I'm sure Lottie knows what she thinks of.
I mean, I'm just not a sugarcoater. I'll tell you how it is. I really don't. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I'll tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. That's just plain and simple.
If only this world was full of more people like that. Well, what do you remember about the early days of running calls, the people, and the sense of brotherhood? Has it changed at all?
It's changed a lot, man. I remember being, 13, 14 years old, and, it's funny, we still have the same truck, and we have 3860. It's an 8-man cab truck, and it's got 2 jump seats, so it's got 6 regular seats. It's got 2 jump seats. Well, they were junior seats, and I remember fighting grown men for those jump seats to go to Potosi and do nothing, just to go out there and sit at their firehouse for a move up. We were out there 5-6 nights a week just running calls, and there was just so many of us. And I started out as the low man on the totem pole. I was everybody's bitch. Like, it was get a bottle, roll that hose, do this, do that, and I was just happy to be there, man. I wanted to be part of it, and they made me feel part of it as a young guy. Like, I wasn't even anywhere close to being an adult and whatsoever. Like, I was still, I probably just hit puberty when I started there. And those guys, they treated me like family, and they'd let me stay the night at their house so I could run calls with them. I mean, I pretty much lived with Crafty for a while. Like, summer times I would stay at his house, just because I lived so far out from the firehouse. My dad didn't want to get up and take me at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Shout out to you, Tudor.
He would, but he'd bitch about it. Yes.
But I think that's what every person we've had in here, that is, it always comes back to that term of family at the firehouse. And I know when City was here, and even just the time I was on there, it's family. You celebrate birthdays together.
Yeah.
You hang out together. You have dinner together. And you develop that bond. And I think the younger kids, when they have the dedication that you do, some of those guys pick up on it. And, I can remember we would pick at different ones. And if we weren't picking on you, I mean, that was the way you knew that they liked you. And it was a place for people to go that didn't always have, I'm not going to say a decent home life, but they could find themselves at the fire department.
I was picked on all the time. There wasn't a day that I didn't get, water dumped on me from the tanker, strapped to a backboard, drug across the ice and snow, put in a trash can. I remember 4 o'clock in the morning coming back from a call, and we were all staying up there because it snowed and iced outside. And I had 2 of my officers on top of our old 1970s fire truck bitch whipping me with wet towels at 4 a.m. just because they thought it was funny.
But that's like you saying that about the snow and the ice. That was always, I can remember that was exciting because the flooding that they had out at Iron Mountain Lake. Yeah. I have pictures of us out there on the dam. And it was like, it's going to tornado or whatever. And we all meet down at the firehouse, and, people bring in chili or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's a good time. It's just I don't know. I do miss that. From the firehouse.
There was a lot of camaraderie when I was a junior, and I just like Brandon Hall used to give me a lot of shit when I was a kid.
Trickles downhill. I mean,
yeah.
I learned what I did to, kids like you at the time from what they did to me as a kid. Like, whenever they would torture me with certain aspects, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. Yeah. Like, hey, go get me a hose stretcher, you little shit.
Yeah, well, Brandon, I give it to you, man. You may have gave me a lot of shit, but somehow, some way, I made it through. You were definitely somebody I looked up to, even though you gave me a hard time, and I appreciate everything you did for me back in the day.
Hey, man, it takes a whole lot. If I didn't fuck with you, I probably didn't like you. So
no, you must have really liked me, because you gave me a lot of shit.
That was, if I gave you shit, then I cared. That was, and that's a weird way of showing that you give a shit.
In the fire service, though, that's how you show it. I mean,
well, and 99% of the time, if you have earned a nickname, you earned it in the fire service. I mean, even unfortunately, my nickname did not come. Mine came from a telecommunication or a telecommuter. What the fuck? When they call and try to sell you shit.
A telemarketer?
Telemarketer. Yeah. And I picked up the phone. Hello, is this Loche?
Loche.
Like, what the fuck? How did you? Usually it's Loki, Lachi, whatever, and we came up with Loche. The tanker at Bismarck. My name was on my nickname. I mean, I have people to this day, if I'm out somewhere and I hear, hey, Loche, I know it's somebody that I either met in fire service or, they just know that story of that's my nickname. So
I call you Little Shay all the time.
Yeah.
I don't call you Little Shay when you're here with me, but anytime I talk to you or anybody else, you're Little Shay. And everybody's like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you see. Anywho, we're going to continue on down the road because we will get sidetracked.
Well, and so my question is, you have been there for 17 years.
Yeah.
What's kept you there? Because nowadays, and we talked about this, I think it was either you and Tommy talked about it, I think it was, how you can drive past these volunteer fire departments and there may be a car there.
Yeah.
Where it's not that way anymore. So what has kept you there? What have been the ups, the downs? Because it is a volunteer fire department.
I mean, I'm so far into it now that I've thought about leaving, the mental toll and the spots in life that it's put me in, that I've, like, man, my life would be better if I didn't have all of this shit. If I didn't have all of this weighing on my mind, I probably wouldn't be as fucked up as a person as
felt that, brother.
As as I am because of it. And then I get to thinking about it, and I'm like, who else is gonna do it? We don't have people beating the door down to volunteer their time. I mean, I've been there, that long, and I've not been paid. People are like, oh, don't you get something from it? No, I don't get shit.
Yeah.
I get the satisfaction of, the couple times a year that you get to be somebody's hero. You get to make an impact on somebody's life. I mean, you go through all that, and it'll rewire your brain over time, psychologically, and I'm not going to say you become a different person, but you
become a different person.
You become a different, I'd say a different entity in that aspect, because you don't want to change who you are in a home life aspect towards your children or your spouse. You don't want to lay all of that on them. But whenever it comes down to, like, the firehouse, like, I've had, probably the last 3 years, I've slacked off more than I ever have. I have not been as dedicated as I should be. And I'm starting to pick back up, but, I had things that, I had to work out in my own life.
And I think we're gonna trickle
well,
down through that.
Burnout is one of the things that we really try to focus on. And I think that, I know she's my kid, but Sydney really brought a light to the burnout part of it. I don't think we realize it, because I think we think that there's a certain definition, but there are very obvious things that happen. And I know, and I used to kind of pick on Brett or even Josh, and remember that fire there or this, there? And you do, but that's what I didn't realize doing it, because I'll be in EMS almost 10 years. And if I go down to house 4, there's a house that I come past that is right there at the intersection of 21 and N. I think that's 21, my sense of direction. But that was in September when my dad died, I had, of the 4 weeks of September, I had 3 deaths. 2 of which were, one of them I worked the day Dad died, but that one was one that was a cardiac arrest that my partner and I worked that we didn't have any help on. And I can remember being down on the floor doing compressions, and she says to me, he's gone. Are you okay with me stopping this? And I'm thinking, well, first of all, yes, but I'm thinking this is like number 3 that I've had to deal with. And so you live in the community, you drive past those things, you see the people that you are taking care of.
Yeah.
And for you to stay, honestly, 17 years, that is very admirable. It really is.
Sure. I made it 10, and just in the 10 I was there, man. Some of the shit you hear, see, do, deal with. Hell, I've been out of it almost 2 years now, and I still deal with things. I wake up in a sweat every once in a while dealing with some of the shit that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's
well, and that's one thing that's always blown my mind about the kid. I know what I've seen as an adult, and to know what you kids see.
Yeah.
That's not what, you shouldn't have to do that.
I've seen shit as a teenager that no person should ever see at that age. Like dead kids, people that, committed suicide. It was, I remember they had to take me whenever we had a call, a wreck, and a little boy got ran over, and me and a buddy of mine were the first 2 there, and I was in high school. I was supposed to have a choir concert that night, and they had to go to the school with me to inform my choir director that, I wasn't going to be there, and this is why. And it was, I felt like people kind of looked at me different, like, man, what the fuck did he do last night? What did he see? Like, and people would ask me, and
I hate when people do that.
That's the worst.
They're like, so, what was it like? And back then, it's fucked up. I don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to know. You wouldn't understand. And nowadays, like, I'll have, let's say, Stacy's oldest daughter, my stepdaughter, she'll ask sometimes about it. And she's in the health field. And, I'm like, do you really want to know? Do you want to know the blunt, honest truth? She's like, yeah. And, I think she's capable of understanding, and I'll lay it on her.
Yeah.
And she's just like mind blown that, this is what it is.
And I had my very first experience the other day talking to somebody that has absolutely zero EMS background.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going on and, talking about this situation. And they're like, okay, that's enough. Not even thinking, because when we all do sit around, that's how we talk.
To us, it's a mindset.
Yeah. It's normal.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but it's normal.
You're talking to the people who can literally sit here and eat dinner and have a conversation about somebody's brains being all over the wall.
Right.
It's normal to us.
Mm-hmm.
We are our own society.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it.
And that's what I've always said. It's very hard for me to have friends or talk to people outside of this because they don't get. And I always say I've been very lucky because I haven't had too terribly of things, but I can remember driving home and thinking, the fuck did I just do last night? And we need every worker in this world, whether they're hauling shit or stocking shelves at Walmart. But I have been in Walmart before. Oh my God, I have 4 more boxes to unload. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I just told Paw that his wife that he'd been married to for 60 years is dead and I can't do anything. He's asking me why. Yeah. But you go ahead and stack those 4 boxes of the shit you've got to stack,
Oh. Well, before we jump into some of the tear-jerking stuff here, you and I both served at the rank of captain. When I left my former department, that's the rank I left at. So when I say I know some of the struggles you deal with, I really do as a captain, because holding the rank of an officer, you're held to a higher standard. You're held to a lot more things than what just a normal firefighter is. So as a captain now, what does leadership mean to you, and both scene and how do you guide your crew?
So, man, it's as of right now, I'm just like I said, I'm just getting back into it, like being active and stuff again. So, pretty much being there for my guys and showing them that, I want to be back, and that that knowing that they trust me means a lot. And for the other officers that, let me have my time to, find myself, I respect that, and I couldn't be more thankful for them not being like, hey, get the fuck out of here, come back, start over again. Now, they knew. A lot of them were there, and, it's...
And I think that goes back to that family aspect. They knew you needed to take a break.
Yeah.
And they didn't just say, well, yeah, Brandon, it's pack your shit, get on out of here. We'll be here. When you're ready to come back, come back.
Yeah.
And,
they held,
and that speaks a lot, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
They held where I ranked. They, I would show up for stuff here and there, but, I used to teach trainings and do all kinds of stuff, and it just trickled down to I might run 10 calls a year.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably 3 or 4 years where I was the number 1 call runner. That's hundreds of calls. Like, we might have 400 calls that year, and I ran 250.
So then let me ask you this. Did you recognize that you had to step away, or did somebody come to you and say, it's time?
No, I knew. I knew. So...
And I know I'm jumping ahead, Tyler.
After everything with my mom, and and whatnot, I ran another call that was similar, and I realized right then and there that I couldn't do everything that I had done years previous. Like I wasn't the same person, and I could not handle it mentally, and I had to walk away, and that's what I did. So
and that's hard to do. But I've always said, in whatever job you do, the second you know
it's time to get
that you have either ill feelings about it or whatever, it's time to go. And I know, I had a similar thing where I had to deal with a patient, and it wasn't how Lockie would handle it. And I hate to talk about myself in the third person. That sounds stupid, but I knew then you need to pray, because you're not treating people the way they deserve and what your job is in this work.
Mm-hmm. You're just treating it as a 9 to 5,
and it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that, and I know both of you boys feel this way. I'm pretty sure you do. I know you all pretty well. It's an honor and a privilege to be in the job that we do, and to be with another human being in a tragic moment. Or have you delivered a baby?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so in those moments, I mean, that's an honor to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my things that I think is my get out of hell card, is when I sit down with God at the big table and he pulls out my binder. He's not going to look at all the weird shit that I did or the things I should have done differently.
All your
he's gonna
Google searches.
Yeah. God, I hope not. He's going to say, you were here at this call, or you treated this person this way. I really do. And I don't use it as an excuse for my bad behavior, but this is a calling that we all have. Because even on our bad days, we still show up for somebody else.
Just the crazy thing is to think that we were selected by himself to be able to handle this line of work.
Yeah.
I mean, just the three of us in this room have done God only knows what that we probably shouldn't have. But anywho,
I remember seeing, like, there's calls, like you said, that you're, it's a privilege and an honor to be there. And then there's other times where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there is nobody. You kind of want to take out your camera to take a picture, because you're like, none of my friends are going to believe that I just experienced this. So
one that sticks with me, we had a bariatric patient, and we didn't know it. And if you don't know what bariatric is, that means fat as fuck. This gentleman was at least 600 plus.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, I know exactly.
Yeah. So the first time that we were introduced to him, we were in a board meeting at the firehouse, and this was before I did board meeting stuff. This was back whenever Chewy was the fire chief. So him, Charlie, Josh, they're all the highest ranking officers. They're, they like, hey, it's just a fall. You and Carson go handle it. Like, if you can't handle a 57-year-old patient, then you two probably shouldn't be officers. We were lieutenants at the time. We probably, he's like, you two probably shouldn't do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Fuck, we got this. Like, see you. We get in a rescue. We run out there. We had one of the juniors with us. It's fall. Like, oh, you go with us. And I get to the house, and I walk up to the back door, and I'm like, hey, I'm here with the fire department. What can I do for you? Like, oh, he's back here in the bathroom. All right, cool. I'm walking down the hallway, got the bag in my hand. I walk around the corner. He's sitting in the bathroom floor, stark naked.
They always are.
All of his glory, and I walk around the corner, I go, God damn, and he goes, fuck, I know I'm fat. I was like, sorry, I did not mean it like that. And he goes, dude, it's cool. You didn't know. And we get that out of the way. Carson's behind me about 10 steps. He walks around the corner. He goes, oh, fuck. And the next thought in my head was I had to turn around and stop our junior from coming. I was like, hey, you can't come in here. You are not old enough to see this. Get your ass back in the truck. And I had to call back to the station. I'm like, hey, this is what we have. And they're like, no, whatever. Like, I'm telling you now, if you don't get another truck out here and all 80 of you motherfuckers sitting at that board table, I'm going to come back and kick somebody's ass. They all show up, and everybody walks around the corner and says, one of the same things. Oh, fuck. God, dude. Like, it was, that was just one of those things where every time we showed up there, he's like, "Yeah, you're back. It's for the fat guy." Like, he had a great sense of humor, but...
And once again, that you develop that rapport with your patients, you know?
Whether it was a good or a bad thing.
Right.
I mean, you and I, we talked about somebody last night. Lockie was out here for my wife's birthday party, and she may or may not have seen me get a little intoxicated. Just a little. But it's just things like that make you happy that you get to do what you get to do. I mean, you see people on the worst day of their life.
Well, and I've always had, you know, and I can think of, okay, so who's working? Who's going to be on the truck? Because, you know, and I've had people, they've asked dispatch, well, is it that girl crew with that? It's a girl with a weird name. I mean, you know, it's like, and this is terrible, but there was a time I was going to Potosi Prison, sometimes twice in a shift. The inmates knew who I was. Oh, yeah, that lady, she'll take good care of you. And it's like you get a fan base of these people that you don't necessarily want to run into at Walmart, which I wouldn't with the prisoners. But still,
I would hope
you know, I mean, it is. So, all right,
You went to the prison for a cat call, didn't you? Like,
yeah,
what's up?
That boost of confidence, that whistling, and yeah, that's what I needed.
This next question, I think we kind of answered, but what's something about small town firefighting that people might not realize or fully understand?
I mean, you gotta think about your patients. Like, obviously, these are gonna be people you grew up with. They're gonna be your friends' parents, your friends' grandparents. You gotta be the one that tells, you know, your dad's buddy that his grandkid's dead. Like, you gotta, like, people are asking you, like, what do you know?
Yeah.
Like,
which you've brought that up before, too.
In small town firefighting, it is the absolute worst.
It'll stop you right in your tracks. I mean, when I was in high school, there was a kid that died in a car accident that I was in school with, and you know, I was at school the next week, and they're like, "Hey, man, what the hell's going on?" Like, everybody wants to know, like, what did he look like? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to talk about that.
I had to live it once. I don't want to relive it.
Yeah.
And that sitting here right now, Brandon, this is why we do this. Not because I like to pull it out of you, but we like to give first responders the free will to walk on this platform and talk about what they have endured, when they feel comfortable, and how they endured it, when they seen it, how they seen it, how it affected them, because we don't have enough of these conversations.
Yeah, no.
And I think, too, for the people that aren't in our job, because that is one of the things I always say, don't ask me. You don't ask a veteran, well, what was it like in whatever war or whatever? And that's, I don't want people to do that. I don't like that. You know, you just don't. Why would you want to know what I've seen? But it is that small town, and I think this is a platform, too, for our people to I know they think we're just driving around wasting the city's gas money and that kind of shit. But we're here to serve our community.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, not only is it, like you said, a platform for these guys, but and for us, too. I mean, this has helped me out a lot.
Oh, yeah.
This helps our community. People that know us, know Brandon. I know a lot of people are going to listen to this episode with Brandon. It helps them learn without having to ask them directly. And
I think, too, now I know we're taking left turns, right turns, and crawling up the trees, but that is one thing, and you hit it very well, for the most part. I hit it really well. I mean, when I said some of the things and talked about things, people were like, well, I never knew that's how you felt. Mm-hmm. You didn't act that way. You didn't seem like that bothered you. And so Brett and Sydney, you with the same, we all were on the same motor vehicle accident. Every one of us had different feelings. I didn't know those things. And so I think that also brings awareness to our loved ones and our friends in the community. Mm-hmm. If we are acting different, you know, take a second to say, hey, how are things doing? Don't ask me, what did you see last night? Mm-hmm. How are you doing? This helps them learn how to take care of us without us directly telling them how to, if that makes sense. Because most of the time we get to the point where we're not taking good care of ourselves anyway. Absolutely. So, Brandon, when you look back on how far, 17 years, that's a long time. When you look back on how far the department has come, what moments make you the most proud, that just make you say, man, I'm proud to be with Leadwood Fire. I'm happy to be where I am, and this is why.
Just man, the work that we put in, man, the countless hours, like, and that goes back a lot to the time that I've taken off. Like, I've missed a lot of time with my son when he was a baby because I devoted more time to the firehouse, and that's, you know, that's something that I have to live with. And now any chance I can, you know, I will skip a call to be with him. Yesterday, just happened to be one of those where it was our house fire, and I said, "You want to go?" He was in the truck right next to me. It was just me and him in the truck. And I mean, the other guys were already out there, and you know, we showed up and gave him more water. And we got home last night. It's like, "Hey, wake me up if anything else goes out."
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get right on that."
And if you know Brantley Hall, he looks just like his father,
Yes,
and I'm
he
sure he's
does.
going to act just like his father.
He got up this morning, so we went. Long story short, we went back to the same house last night and
Rekindle.
yeah, so it had add-ons, and I mean, we sat on it for 2 hours.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like we were there from like 4 to 7-ish, 7 or 8, and you know, it was very small. Like this room,
Yeah.
like it was very little, and we had no smoke. We had the fire marshal there. We had everything, and
It was a deep dive if he was there.
pulled the power. Like we had it all going, but it had tongue groove ceiling, had add-ons. There was probably something hidden where we couldn't find it. We couldn't access the crawl space because it was too short. We cut a hole in the floor, did the best we could. And about 1:30 this morning, there's flames through the roof. You can see it from town. And I was late to the party. I woke up late. If it wasn't for Washington County getting paged, I wouldn't have woke up. Apparently, I woke up through my phone, but
I've had a couple of those nights where you're like, God.
I got up. Got the same truck. Went out there by myself. Started feeding water. I started pumping the other 2 trucks, and that's you know, we were out there till I got home at 6 o'clock this morning, and it was an all-night thing. But you know, back to where if I think back to where we came from, like, just I dive deep into history, and I'd like to, you know, go as far back as we started. We started in 1953. We had 1 fire truck and a 2-bay firehouse.
Yeah.
We moved from there in the 70s to our second location on Thompson Street.
Is that up there past the old middle school? That right over in the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started up in town across from the police station. There's a little 2-bay garage there. It was originally the post office back in the early 1900s. We formed a fire department in 1953 after the school burnt, and we didn't have a fire department. So it moved in the 70s down to Thompson Street, and you know, in the 90s they added on another 2 bays to it, and then in 97 they formed a fire protection district where it was tax based, and we weren't tied to the city any longer. And in 04, the guys, we didn't hire people to build the building we're in. Our guys built it, nights, weekends.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of them do.
That's dedication right there. A lot of districts don't have the money to pay for it.
Yeah, they built our firehouse, and you know, my uncle was an iron worker. He got some of his buddies together to come down and set all the iron, and one guy was a floor. He laid all the floors. One guy did cabinets. One guy did concrete. Like, it just, everything kind of came together, and
It's rural America.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a legacy that you want to hang on to.
Yep.
Like, whenever I started, we had old square body Chevy trucks, and we were running 3-man crews to an EMS call, and then we got a grant for our rescue truck that was a 6-man cab and all kinds of stuff. And then we got a grant for a pumper, and we started getting more money, and we got new gear, and we just kept, you know, proceeding to grow as a fire department. And that's to watch where we were at whenever I started to where we are now, you know, and to think about all the time that I've put in training, hose testing, crunching numbers, working on trucks.
Late nights.
Yeah, late nights doing just about anything possible, that you could think of with maintenance to a truck or a firehouse. A lot of people don't understand, like, whenever we were crunching numbers for the ISO rating.
Oh.
Like,
We've talked to ISO before.
Tommy and I talked about that in our episode, yeah.
Yeah, we drove around town testing fire hydrants. If anybody knows anything about Leadwood, half of them don't work.
I don't think Bismarck's do either.
We're in the middle of getting a new water system, and
thank God.
New hydrants, new everything. So it's going to be great once it's done. But I mean, I live the furthest from the water tower in town, and to tell you that the water pressure is phenomenal would be the biggest fucking lie I ever told. Whenever I first moved into Leadwood, because I grew up in Wortham, which is, you know, not Leadwood, but Wortham has their own water district, and that's actually it's Wortham Frank Clay Mitchell has their own water district. My dad's the president of the board out there. My grandpa formed it in the latter part of the 70s. It's got like the third best water in the state of Missouri or some shit like that. Like, they've had the water tower redone, and we take what they call a pedal gauge and you put it on a fire hydrant. And in Leadwood, they wouldn't register. At the one in Wortham by the church, it blew the motherfucker off. It had so much pressure.
I would have liked to have seen that back in the need.
Yeah, we were like, holy shit. We took the water guy with us from Wortham, and we're like, you know, we want to see what this does. Like, we know it's got good water because we like to fill tankers up on it, or we like to go to the four-way in Mitchell. Put that gauge on there, and it kind of hangs down in front of there. That sumbitch blew. Whoa. I'm hoping I get that kind of pressure in Leadwood. That's going to be kick ass.
Anytime we filled a tanker up, where I come from, anytime we went to assist Leadwood, because we literally worked right next to them. I mean, they were on our first alarm. Anytime we went to Leadwood, that was where I was going, was Wortham, because if I waited for Leadwood, not only would my water come out brown and look like shit, it would literally take 3 hours to fill up, it seemed like. Yeah. It's like Belgrade's firehouse, that one right next to it, and it took 4 hours to fill one truck up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If you didn't use our in-house tap, it you went to the dog pound. That was the next closest one to the water tower to get decent pressure, and it still took twice as long as it did to go out to the rural district and get water. And
when you're tanker running and daisy chaining, it just
that's how it was last night, man. I was the second pumper in on one side of the house, and it had 3 tankers behind me, and then our other pumper was on the other side of the house. We were at the corner at a 4-way intersection, and we had our pumper and our tanker and, like, I don't know, 8 other tankers.
All daisy chained. Oh, I hate daisy chaining. Oh, I hate daisy chains.
We did what we had to do, but
yeah, that's a habit that fire departments around here should get out of, is daisy chaining, and it will never happen.
No.
But in the aspect that we were in last night, you really didn't have another option.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, unless we were gonna go to we could have went round to the other side of Grand or Merrimack and dropped at the other intersection and put a porta tank and did dumps, but you'd have been backing down a whole street that had cars parked on the side of it.
Ooh,
and I wasn't willing to take that risk.
Yeah, I know.
I'm too many beers deep for that.
I already made fun of Brett and his tanker last night. I didn't know anything about it, but I walked out the corner of the house and I was like, holy shit. I said, what the hell did you do? I didn't do it. Wasn't me. He said, it was 2 of the oldest guys that you ever met that did it. He said, it wasn't me, though.
Well, I think we're to that part of the script where we're going to start tear-jerking here a little bit. Lockie, you have your tissues today.
I do, yeah.
We're going to get into it. So if at any point in time, Brandon, you decide you want to stop, take a moment, take a breath, you just let me know, and we'll carry on. How's that sound?
That's fine with me.
So, I'm going to read this one off because I'm not sure Lockie has the heart to. And
this is always, you read this one usually.
This one, I've struggled with this one reading it, especially with Tommy. His episode's really good. But every firefighter, I can't read today, every firefighter has that one call that sticks with them. Without breaking privacy, HIPAA, or anything like that, would you care to share that one that stayed with you that's the one that's permanently scarred you over the years?
So, there's several, I guess you could say. The one that, probably killed me the most, the last that obviously was my mom. And a lot of people don't know that I ran that call that morning.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Yeah. I got there, and the ambulance was already there, but I took over chest compressions on my own mother in front of my dad, who was 2 weeks post 5-way bypass, who couldn't move out of his chair, begging me to do something. And I did it as long as I could until realization set in, and I just kind of split, man. I kind of lost my cool. They called a second ambulance, and then I had some of my guys from the firehouse showed up, and one of them stayed back with me and my dad. One of them went to the hospital with my sister because my parents had COVID, and my dad couldn't leave, obviously, with his injuries and having COVID. My mom was supposed to go back to work that day, and she got up for work and died. So that's
So let me ask you this, Brandon, and of course, if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to, but did you hear the call go out? Did you know it was going to their address?
I didn't hear the initial call because they didn't call for us initially, because it was it didn't start out that bad. It was more of a
sick case type,
like
of
a difficulty breathing situation.
It was we're on non-life threatening calls at that point in time because of COVID, and I didn't hear anything go out. By the time it came down to a cardiac arrest, my dad was calling me as I was getting up for work, and then our call dropped. And I don't remember a whole lot about getting there, but I know my diesel moves pretty quick. And I did what I had to do, and then it came down to the point of making phone calls. Like, I had to call my sister and, get her there. And trying to make people understand shit at 4 o'clock in the morning is fucking hard enough. And whenever it's your own family, it's even harder. You're trying to comprehend everything that you just did. Like, I don't like doing EMS calls whatsoever. I've never been in the fire service for EMS. If I was, I'd probably be a paid fireman somewhere. But I don't like working on people. I do it. I'm trained to do it. I do it if I have to. But I don't go out of my way to be the... I will drive the truck.
Yeah.
I will lift shit. I will do whatever. I've always been that aspect from a young age, just from stuff that I'd seen. I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. Like, if you're going to throw up, I'm going to throw up with you.
Well, and I think maybe take a second here to explain to some of our listeners, when you are on a volunteer fire department, like you said, you were running non-life threats.
Yeah.
So you do have, there are usually people either in EMS or either straight firemen, they like the firefighter adrenaline aspect of it, or they like the EMS side of it. I think because of my being older, getting into it, see, I was just the opposite. I loved the EMS. I loved taking care of the people. That's a weird thing to say, but I didn't have a problem with going in and talking to a family and saying, hey, okay, my people are in there, this is what they're doing, and things like that. And so for those of you that may think, well, he's on the fire department, he doesn't want to work on people. It's not that we won't, but there's just that it's kind of that little bit more of a passion or
a preference.
And honestly, it's okay. That's where everybody knew that if I was in town, I was going to go if it was an EMS call. I mean, I had paramedic partners that knew that I was going to be the one to tell the family what happened, and that's okay. That's okay to do that. But so for our listeners to kind of understand, as a fire department, we may not run. There's just some calls we don't run, but if you can get on scene and it turns into something else.
And another thing, like Brandon said, during COVID, the department I was on, we weren't allowed to have meetings. We couldn't have trainings because you had to be like...
We were restricted a lot.
To everything.
Yes.
The government watched everything, and we got emails, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Our whole life was restricted.
Literally, yeah.
You couldn't go hang out anywhere. You had to stay home. I mean, And the one place we like to hang out was the firehouse, and you're like, oh, we got to sit 6 foot apart, so we don't sit on the back of one truck and talk to each other.
Yeah.
Well, so that morning that happened, were there people on scene that knew that was your mom and dad's house? And
oh, everybody knew. Because
that's the dilemma, too, that I don't think a lot of people realize in small town. You know, we all would have our pager, our radios, and there are addresses, and it goes out, and you're like, fuck, that's Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, or that's so-and-so's mom. Because then that puts us into that next level of, okay, they all knew, hey, this is Brandon's mom. Do we call Brandon? Do we wake him up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Who makes that phone call?
Yeah. And everybody knows who Tudor Hall is.
Exactly.
There isn't a person I've ever met that doesn't know who he is.
Right.
And not very many people live on their street. Like, there's not a whole lot out there. And, you know, people knew that block, that vicinity was my entire family. And people were calling me, like, hey, I know that's around your dad's house. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was something. And it wasn't probably a year or so before that, I ran a call with Irondale, and it, you know, it wasn't even my call, but I jumped it because I was in bed and I got a phone call from Washington County Sheriff. There's a buddy of mine I went to high school with, and he said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" "Oh, shit, man, I'm hanging out with my son. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking twice over. He goes, "Hey, your sister and your brother-in-law were in a really bad motorcycle accident." And I'm like, okay. He's like, "I need you to get here right now. I'm going to send you my coordinates." He said, "But I need you here." I'm like, okay, are they dead or are they alive? He said, "I just need you to get here." So I'm like, what the fuck? So I call my dad. I'm like, hey, I need you to get to my house right now.
To watch me.
Yeah, I need you to come watch Brantley, because it was just me and him at that point. And I said, I need you to come here. This is what's going on. Get here right now. So in his mind, this is his child. He's trying to get to me so I can go. Like, there's nothing that he can do to go out there, but I can do shit.
Right.
So
you get more leeway.
Yeah, I have more pull than he does in that aspect. But it was funny that night. I remember I had my diesel truck. I backed out, and I had my lights on. I was sitting there waiting for him, not thinking he has my other truck that has lights and sirens in it.
Oh boy.
And he comes flying down the road with everything on. Fuck.
Oh, that's great.
So Brantley was asleep. Dad pulls in the driveway. I take off. And I remember going past my pumper in front of the high school. I passed them up. They said, "Hey, go around us." I didn't give a shit if they were going to ask me or not.
Yeah.
They're about to get their ass gapped. And I come into U Highway screaming. Like, my tires were hot for sure. And I come sliding into the scene, and I get out and I slam my door and I take off running. The state trooper's trying to stop me. He's like, "Hey, who the fuck are you?" And Washington County guy's like, hey, I call him, you're like, leave him alone. I get over there, and I remember getting in the back of the ambulance. My sister, my brother-in-law was already gone. I got in the back of the ambulance with my sister, and she's laying there. And I guess all she can see is the white light. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "Are we dead?" Fuck. Thank God she's alive. So I couldn't imagine, like, if I'd have lost them, like, they're like my second set of parents. If I had lost them and then lost my mom right after, I probably would have lost my shit more than what I already did. And so getting back to that morning, like, my sister wasn't moving too hot. That's the backstory with that. She was, so, you know, it'd take her a little longer to get out of bed to get there. And, you know, she got there as they were putting my mom in the ambulance. And we got my mom back several times. And I got a wink out of her. I got that. And that was humbling for me. My sister didn't get that. And I wish that there was something else that I could tell her or do for her to make it better.
Right.
But we're coming up on, I guess this past week was her birthday, and this next week is when she died. She died right after her birthday. She was born on the 12th of November, and she died on the 18th of November.
Oh, wow.
And it's a struggle every year. This was the first year that I've not been so strung out drunk that
So you're gonna get some real feelings. I want you to know that.
Oh yeah, I have, and it's different because I've been a drinker my entire life. Like there's not a day that goes by that I don't recall having a drink. Mm-hmm. That was just, I was born that way, and a lot of people are like, that doesn't fucking work like that. It does. I could predate it back grandfathers, great-grandfathers.
Mm-hmm.
One drank all the time. One drank so much he had a plastic stomach from drinking too much whiskey. And my dad, he's a drinker. Used to be an alcoholic. And then got his life together at some point in time before I was born. And, after my mom died, he kind of fell back into it. I fell into it with him. We were drinking all the time. I was drinking all day. Like, I'd be at work 10 o'clock in the morning, drunk off my ass.
Yeah.
And that was the only way I could function. And it finally came to a head, I guess, over this past summer. And, I was getting on some 3-day bender, drunken tyrants, running from my wife, turning my location off, hiding out in graveyards, just doing crazy shit. And I finally, one day I'm like, my mom would kick my ass.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you knew Brandon's mom, she definitely would have. She may have been little, but she would have kicked your ass.
She was 4 foot nothing, but man, whenever she exploded, and
pack of dynamite for sure.
I got to think, like, man, I am not making her proud whatsoever. Nothing about what I'm doing is making her any sort of proud. And this is taking a toll on my family life. It's taking a toll on my professional life. Why didn't you come to that call last night? I was too fucked up.
Yeah.
My God. You want me to show up fucking hammered? No, that's not what we do. And it just got...
Well, and being that way, that's what, because I definitely was not an alcoholic, but I did enjoy and indulge, and that was my escape a lot of times. But I don't think that, people, we are chasing demons, and we can find that in that we just choose poor behaviors. We drink, we indulge in other things that we shouldn't, and because that's the escape. And, because for just a little bit, you do forget about it. And it's,
becomes
and what is so horrible is I have sat in the back of the ambulance telling people, hey, I'm not judging you on this by no means, but you shouldn't be doing this, 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 and this. And I'm thinking,
man, I just
did all that shit. Off shift, I'm going to be fucked up. It's like, here I am. And it comes to a point where you have to realize, what am I doing? And even as an adult child, you realize you weren't making your mom proud.
Yeah. And it sounds fucking stupid, but all my friends, everybody like, oh, you're not making your mom proud. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. I started this new job, and everybody got to know me and whatnot, and they started to pick up that I had a drinking problem. And I was gunning for 5 o'clock so I could get to the gas station and get some beer. And then I had beer in a cooler in my truck. Then I had a mini fridge at work full of beer. And then it just started to escalate, and they're like, we really give a shit about you. And, we want you to understand that this is not okay. We know you're not okay. And, you know, shout out to my friends and my family for all the times they tried to tell me, but I just thought they were being hard on me. It took people I didn't know for me to realize. People who weren't there through everything, and, you know, people might get offended that were there through the whole thing, that they couldn't stop.
Why was that different? Why was it different that it was people that you didn't know?
Because they just met me and they could tell that something wasn't okay. And that was not me. I've always been a glass half full type person, and try to...
Because that strikes a chord in me.
Try to be a brighter side of life, but it took, just a little bit that they knew about me. They knew that I wasn't okay.
So then I'm playing devil's advocate here too. You had people that love you.
Yeah.
Telling you the same thing.
And
why made it different, Brandon? Why was it a thinking of the strangers judging me, which I don't believe that shit from you in a heartbeat.
Never, Brandon.
But what was different?
It wasn't a stranger judging me type aspect. On the people that cared and loved me, it was I felt like they were just trying, their hardest to get me to stop enjoying a beer. Like, oh, you don't want me to drink. Like, oh, it's such a problem that I have a drink, but I wasn't taking into consideration. I wasn't just having a drink. I was having a case. I was having a case and a half on a Tuesday night, and I didn't want to get up and go to work the next morning. Like, you're just harping on me. You're just being a bitch.
You feel like they were trying to control you.
Yeah, like, you're just, like, being a bitch. You're being an asshole. Stop being a dick. Like, I don't need this from you. To somebody who doesn't even know.
Did you ever lose a job or anything because of the alcohol?
Not that I ever lost a job. I walked away from a job because of it. And I didn't really think about it. Just kind of,
well, and I think that goes along maybe with that mindset, because you're numb, you don't care. It's...
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it was the alcohol's fault that I walked out. It just, a lot of things came to a head, and I was, I'd be driving to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, drinking beer, just ready to make it through the day.
Wow.
I'd take lunch, I'd drink a 12-pack.
Did you ever think about, like, whenever you were on scene of an accident that you knew was involved with alcohol and probably potentially a little buzzed yourself, did any of that ever cross your... And I'm playing devil's advocate here for the audience, and because Tyler and I's number one goal is, if we can save one person,
we've done
this
something
is probably
right.
where it's going to go, then we've done something. And so with that message, was there ever any point, because we see this and you're living it, where you were playing big time with fire.
Yeah, I was running a pretty fine line there for a while, and there was times where I thought, man, that could have been me, and I was like, nah,
that's never gonna be me.
I got this. Ain't shit to me. I got friends in low places. Until you realize that everybody's the same, nothing's different. Doesn't matter who you are. And it came to a pretty big realization, and like, it wasn't nothing for me to, have a road sody on the way to work or on the way home. And then I'm thinking, obviously I wasn't active at all with the fire department at that point in time.
So, walk us through the day that there had to have been a day, because about probably close to 2 months now you've been sober, correct?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, congratulations.
Buddy.
Thanks.
I'm very proud of you.
I am too. I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate that. means a lot. I never thought that I could get sober, I guess.
Well, and one thing I don't think you realized is, I mean, and going back to the 17 years in service, you have a lot of younger boys that do look up to you. Whether you really know it or not. And you do have a lot. You probably have some older people that look up to you too, you know, because you are very free-spirited. You are. I've always admired that out of you. You could pick a country song and, you know, you sitting here telling the history of the fire department blew my mind.
For sure.
But I don't think you realize, and I don't think any of us ever do, potentially the impact that we have on somebody.
Yeah.
So, and if you're comfortable, you know, to share that, because I'm going to say it again, if we can save one person,
we've done something right.
Absolutely.
It just took, like I said, people basically they kind of cornered me.
So start that day where you said,
"This is it.
This is it. I'm done."
So
the clock starts now.
I was working one day and I had left work, got shit-faced drunk, drinking, I wasn't even drinking beer, I was drinking pre-mixed margaritas.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like,
ooh,
by the gallon.
Oh, man.
Like, I bought fifths of it, and I had so many empty bottles in the passenger floorboard of my truck. And we'd had this talk, a coworker and I had, and I was, I felt like I had enough. And I realized that, you know, I was tired of feeling this way. I was tired of feeling sick. Tired of feeling tired. I was tired of bottling up hurt, pain, and anger. I would lash out on people who didn't deserve it.
So, are you a different, now that you can kind of look back at this 2 months sober, what type of drunk were you then? Were you always I mean, I know you from what you've explained to us, and I didn't realize it was that bad. I didn't realize it was basically 24/7.
Oh, yeah, it was all the time.
But I mean, were you happy? Like, what percentage of time were you happy? What time were you, were you just, you know.
Just numb. I didn't really feel. I didn't give a shit. It didn't matter if it was black, white, left, or right. You could have, you know, my wife could have walked in and said, "I'm leaving. See ya." Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, that is not any way, shape, or form what I would want. My dad could say, "I'm done talking to you until you get shit together. See ya."
Nothing affected you.
Nothing affected me. I didn't care whatsoever. They didn't have feelings. The only feelings I had were towards people that weren't here. And
so you had anger and you say that people that weren't here. What do you mean by that?
So it wasn't anger. It was upset. Like, I couldn't have a conversation with my mom.
The one person you needed most.
My mom couldn't, you know, she never got to watch my life grow. She didn't get to watch me get married.
And see, and I try not to do, because I feel like sometimes I turn this into my story too, but I can relate to that because when my daughter got married, my mom should have been there. She should have been there critiquing everything I did. She should have been there for my grandkids that are born. And you do. It's like you revert back to being this little kid of, it's not fair, you're stomping your feet.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair.
No.
We should not have to live that. We shouldn't have to do that. And so I understand where you're saying it, and I don't know that it is, I don't think it is an anger. I don't even know it's a hurt, but it's a next level hurt of.
It's hell is what it is.
That's a very good way to describe it.
Yeah, and I mean, there have been times like I've wanted to call my dad. Have you not? Because when was that your mom died? What year?
21.
Okay, so I mean, I know you and I had back to back, Dad, I think my mom and your mom.
Yep.
You know, and it's gone in like this time with Dad. I mean, I have missed him so much. Last year I was fine. I survived. I got through it. But this year was pure hell.
Yeah. And it was
and
me too. I mean,
you know, and you want to call them and say, "Hey, I need help with this. I'm struggling with this." And you don't have I don't have a relationship with my brother. I don't have parents. I don't have that.
Luckily I have a relationship with my sister, and I can call her and tell her the funny thing I wanted to tell my mom, that I could hear her laughing about it right now, and I'd get the same laugh out of my sister, but it's still not the same. And
she's the one human being on earth that shares that.
Yeah.
She shares being your mother's, and she shares probably the exact type of sadness that you have.
Oh yeah, I know she does.
That's what is great, to have that in a sibling.
She doesn't show it very well. I never thought that she would be the stronger one of the two, but for some reason most days she is.
I'll give your sister props, because of some of the stuff you've done to that poor woman.
She earned it, but that's, it's different, man. I don't know how she holds shit together. Like, I remember whenever we went to make my mom's arrangements, and because my dad couldn't go.
Right.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he had COVID, so he couldn't go. So we had to do everything by ourselves.
And did it piss you off?
Oh yeah, it pissed me off.
Oh, it pissed me off too.
He couldn't even go to her funeral.
Okay, I didn't realize that he was still.
Now that you met, I was at your mom's service, and
yeah,
you guys done a very good job. She would have been. I feel like she would have been very proud of both of you.
Yeah, he couldn't even go, and it's sad that I had to send him a picture of my mom in a casket, and I showed up there.
I did not know.
The night that we did her, when we had to pick all the shit out. And I rode my motorcycle over there. She hated that. I was drunk.
She hated that.
She hated that.
Combine both of those, it's even worse.
And wasn't wearing a helmet. I mean, I was on the edge. I felt like a Leonard Skinner song. Like I didn't give a shit whether I made it there or not. And, just the way my sister held herself through all of that was admirable. And my brother-in-law helped me a lot, because he and I like to pick on my mom. And, they would say stuff, and he's like, "Oh, she'll fucking haunt you for that." And, he'd get a laugh or a rise out of me, but, I know that he was just trying to build me back up, but it,
When I like to do stuff now that I know, even though I'm 50 years old, I'll do certain things. I'm like, haha, Janet, you're not here to tell me how to do that one, but you also have to have that sense of humor to get through it. And I'm sure your sister probably stay strong for you. I'm sure she has her moments, because it's hard being the oldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She does, and
it sucks.
I let her call the shots on everything for the service. She asked me, she wanted my opinion, but I told her straight up, "You call the shots. You're the oldest. You're the girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is our mother. You call it." And the only thing that we disagreed on, and I was kind of a dick about it, was we were at the graveyard, and they put the chairs under the tent and whatnot. Fucking cold outside. And my uncle had went and got my dad, because his graveyard's not too far from his house. Brought him up there, and he was kind of standing off back to the side. I mean, people were hugging him and whatnot, you know, knowing damn good well that he had COVID. And he just kind of looked at me, and there was a chair open next to me, and I brought him over there and sat him down next to me, and she just MS and whatnot, she was like, you know, he should be over here by us, and with everything happening. I said, listen, it's our fucking dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really don't give a shit who has what at this point in time. This man needs some sort of closure.
Absolutely.
Like, I had 25 great years with her. You had however fucking old she was at the time, 37 or 38. It's like, he was with her for 40 years.
Yeah, and through
everything.
Exactly.
And
good, bad, and ugly.
He couldn't even be there for the service. I said, so this is... And she just kind of head nodded with me, and it was a mutual understanding at that point. But I hold on to that I stuck it out for my dad at that, on that. Nothing else. I do remember getting the cops called on me for running people off the road during the procession because they wouldn't pull over.
Uh-huh.
And you guys know how big my truck is.
Oh, yeah.
How wide the tires were.
Uh-huh.
I'd changed all that, but at the time, we were going down 8 highway and people weren't pulling over, so I was just driving in the left lane. You want to hit me? Hit me. I don't give a shit.
So do you think that your behavior became even more reckless? I mean,
yeah.
You were reckless, and I'm not accusing you of this. You have openly admitted that.
I've been reckless my whole life.
Exactly. But did you, from that moment on, from that morning on, did you just become,
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. More so than what you already were.
I did shit that you can't talk about on podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, it was, it got out of hand. And I got out of hand. God thank my wife for sticking it out with me. For the shit that I pulled. But yeah, I was way out of question, way out of hand. One point in time, severed the relationship with my sister because of shit that I had done and shit that I was doing. And burn a lot of bridges. And it's hard to build a bridge back after you burn it. And I had to prove a lot of people wrong in certain aspects of life. And, I did. I went through some pretty hard shit. And, I came out of it. And that's a lot to have that some people can never obtain.
So you're 2 months sober. What stays your drive? Because I'm sure that there's something that can trigger, that was a habit for you that, I'd been drinking a beer right now. Or,
there's...
how are you
it's hard
going to maintain this? And like I said, I'm just being devil's advocate here to potentially help somebody.
Right.
What about the naysayers that, that's Brandon Hall. He'll be drinking in 2 months.
No, it's
what is holding you to this? Because this is not easy.
My family and my son, like I owe it to my son to be the best dad that I could be. And there was a lot, like I said, a lot of shit that I missed out on, and I do my best to try and be a part of everything. Like, I don't.
Matter of fact, that's why we changed our time today, so he could be with Brantley, and I was more than okay with that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it whenever we set the date. Normally, I try to stay on top of that shit, but I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I hope he lets me back the time up a little bit.
Anything, man, no problem.
So how did you go about, because a lot of times sobriety is a program.
Yeah.
Then you do have, and I guess it's okay for me to mention the person that was here last night that was 8 years sober. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Steve.
And, and congratulations to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you follow? Have you been sick? Do you notice, you said you're feeling better.
Jeez.
What are you noticing? And because 2 months, it really is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I stopped. Like, I just quit. I stopped on a cold turkey. Just laid it down. And, the withdrawals are hell. And
Are you still having some withdrawals now?
no, I'm, I'd say I'm probably the best that I've been so far. It gets better as the days go by with time.
It's like
The first month or so fucking sucked. Not gonna lie, I shook violently, like terribly. I couldn't hold on to shit. I'd drop stuff. I get a lot of shit for the amount of time I sleep on weekends, because I will, if I don't have Brantley, sometimes I'll sleep for 12, 18 hours.
oh wow.
Well, but I'm sure that, when we're sleeping, that's our body in recovery.
Yeah.
And my body is recovering from years of abuse.
So I know you said it went back generational, and I agree with you. I think that there's just something that happens. When did you start drinking?
I was about 12.
And I'm assuming it was just kind of one of those, because I know, because I'm older than you guys, it was a thing. Like my mom made bourbon slush at Christmas time, and as a 10-year-old, I got a cup of bourbon slush.
It was Jello shots for me.
It wasn't like, oh, let's get 10-year-olds drunk. But my mom and dad never made it this, don't you drink or anything. And it was one of those too, even though I did have to call my mom a couple of times to come and get me.
Mm-hmm.
But there was always kind of that open conversation too. But what, did you just like the taste of the alcohol? What at that young of an age, and then to continue to get it to where you got it to?
I always ran with an older crowd my entire life.
Cody Davis?
Yeah, I ran with Cody a lot.
You all cannot be calling out these people.
Call him out if I want to. He ain't a cop no more. Fuck you. No,
we need to get him to come do an episode with us.
It definitely, not even him, man. At that age, I hung out with my sister a lot. She was an adult. At that point in time, my first nephew was born when I was 8 years old. There's 13 or 14 years between my sister and I. So my nephew and I are closer in age than her and I are.
Right.
So, I'm hanging out in the garage and I'm learning how to work on cars. You're hanging out with big dogs working on cars. You're drinking a beer.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the first time I cracked a beer, I was in the garage. They're like, try it. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
And I took a drink, and it was like, whoa, this is the best shit ever. Some people are like, how do you even drink beer? And it wasn't like I was drinking a Bud Light. No, I was drinking Busch. Straight hard.
Yeah.
Not even Busch lattes. This is Busch. And whenever I was running with my dad, we would go with my uncle, and he had a pony. He had 2 ponies and a wagon, and we'd ride from bar to bar, from Leadwood to Loge to Bismarck. We'd just ride down the side of the highway, and they'd be drunk as shit in the back of this pony wagon, and I'd be driving.
Is that illegal? Can you drink and horse?
I don't know.
I know there have been people that have gotten DWIs by their riding lawnmowers.
But nobody really questioned it. I got these 2 old fuckers drunk as shit behind me, I'm just
and really,
hold the reins.
Let's just call us what we are. It is St. Francis County.
Yeah.
Where we live, that is.
Yeah.
Really, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. My dad used to do it with his dad whenever he was a kid.
It's a family trend.
They'd hitch up their ponies, and they'd hook the wagon up, and they'd go for a ride.
Well,
man, I'd get, by the end of the day after we made it home, and all the beer that was left, I'd be drinking it.
Uh-huh.
I got my dad home. I'd be driving his truck home, and I'm 12, 13 years old, driving his truck home, barely seeing over the dash. I remember the first time I drove him home, I was probably 10. And, not much older than what my son is now.
Yeah.
And I'm driving, I'm hitting the brake, we're slamming forward. He's like, God damn it. And he's drunk. And we pull up at home, and my mom's like, son of a bitch.
Not this shit again.
And we did that up until she passed. Well, I remember I bought my first side-by-side, and Brantley was a year old, so it was 2018. I bought a side-by-side, and I went and picked my dad up. We went riding around. I had a case of beer. He had a case of beer. We rode around out on the Chat on Leadwood, which is illegal as shit. And we rode around, we drank. We went down to the gas station, got another case of beer. So we're on our third case now. And it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh.
And we go to Irondale at my uncle's house. And we're drinking. And we go down to Roy's, get another case of beer. Case 4. I had moonshine, had some other shit. I mean, we were just having a good old time. Just telling stories, bullshit, and reminiscing. And that was the same year that my uncle died, my dad's brother, and I worked him too.
I was there for that one.
Yeah, you guys drugged me out of the house by my feet.
Yep.
Because I was kicking and screaming.
You can kick really hard, by the way.
Yeah. They had to sit on top of me while they...
that was the night Kraft showed up out there. Yeah.
Yeah, they dragged me down the hallway, and I was kicking and screaming. That was...
Yeah.
That one put me in the mental institution, but that's another story. But we... by the end of the night, let's say we had 6 cases of beer. And I went back to my house. My dad got out of the side-by-side and face planted. And I was like, oh, motherfucker. So I pick up my last case of beer. How I'm functioning at this point is beyond me. I put him in his car, take him home, and I pull down in the yard right by the front porch. She's been calling us. We haven't been answering. We had the music turned up loud. Every time she'd call, we'd hit the ignore button because we just knew she was going to bitch us out. And took him inside. And I sat him down in his chair. They just got new white carpet put in.
Oh, no.
Anybody knows my dad knows he chews. He's chewed. Tells me since he was 5 years old. He'll be 65 in December. So, 60 some odd years of chewing. Swallowing it. His vomit is always brown.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Gosh.
He's sitting in the chair talking to me. He's like, I gotta pee. So I pick him up, walk into the bathroom. I bring him back, and he sits down in the chair. He's sitting there, and he's talking. He's like, yeah, everything's... He throws up. And my mom, she didn't cuss
like we do.
like shit, ass, damn, stuff like that, but it sitting in his chairs, motherfucker. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. And I was waiting for my son's mom at the time. We were together. I was waiting for her to come pick me up. And I took my case of beer. She's still yelling at me as he's throwing up off the porch, and I took off walking. And I walked from Wortham to Leadwood that night.
That's an interesting story.
Yeah, that was that was just another day for us. I mean,
well, brother, I tell you what, from me, who I've literally damn near grown up around you my whole life. I've ran calls with you. I've worked side by side with you. I am beyond proud of you.
I appreciate that.
And do you ever and I know it's fun to tell the stories and stuff, but do you ever just sit back and think, in the last 2 months, have you thought, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I've questioned a lot of things that I've done. Like, I remember getting plastered out of my mind and was trying to go on the run one night from my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I got my dad, my sister, my wife trying to track me down. And I remember pretty much bahaing through somebody's front yard in Bismarck, just slinging rooster tails like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what the fuck was I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
Yeah.
What made me think that was a great idea? Like, how did I get to this point? Like, oh yeah, that was just,
Another, yeah.
yeah, wasn't nothing but a thing.
Yeah.
Like, man, you should have seen the rooster tails I laid on the side of 32 last night. Like, no, I fucked somebody's whole yard up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, like I said, man, I'm proud of you. I support you in any way, and I hope you continue with this.
Yeah.
If you ever need somebody to talk to and you feel like you're going to give up on it, you're welcome to give us a call.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've got pretty big feet that I can run right up your ass.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm very proud of you, and I'm glad you're sticking with it. But I do want to talk about the firehouse a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we'll keep rolling with this thing because we got way off track.
We did.
We're bad at this.
Yeah.
We're still new. So you've done basically anything that you could possibly do. You went to Indiana for water rescue school.
Yeah.
For a guy who was afraid of water.
I was deadly afraid of water. After I got out of the mental hospital and got put on depression and anxiety meds, I just kind of got this
I don't give a fuck attitude.
Yeah, this hard ass kind of, like, nothing bothered me. And I remember when we first started this, I climbed up in a tree over Big River and just head first out of it.
Damn.
I'd have never done that a day in my life beforehand.
Well, you've done that. You've done quite a bit of stuff. But on the flip side to the bad call with your mom, on the flip side of things, what's one call that you remember that just made you proud of being a fireman?
I don't really know that I can pinpoint down to one. It's just more of a, like, anything to do with kids, like being there for them whenever nobody else is. I think that's always an uplifter. Like, it's a humbling aspect. Kids in high school that their parents, they're friends with your kids,
mm-hmm.
and they need help. And like one night, one of them wrecked their car. I ran the call, and I towed the car.
Yeah.
And the girl was more than appreciative, and it was just nice to know that I could be there
to help somebody out,
to help them.
Yep.
And that's always good. Like,
and you're now a dad to Brantley. He's how old now?
He's 8. He turned 8 September.
So you've been a dad for 8 years. How does having Brantley, how does that change the way you see the risks that come with the job that you do?
Oh my God, it scares the shit out of me.
Because you know what it is to lose a parent. You know how that feels.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, the kids that I've seen that have passed, like, I live in fear constantly. I don't show it, but I constantly replay scenarios in my head that's like, man, if that ever happened to my kid, I'd probably off myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's
you become hyper. I can't think of exactly not vigilant, but
sensitive.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if that's.
I don't know.
But it is that hyper of, you get if they go do this is going to happen. If they go do that, that could happen.
Hyper fixated.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right. It's one of those words.
I'm gonna keep throwing words at it till I find.
Hyperactive.
We're not professionals here. We're from San Francois County,
yes.
as some people call it. So you said you're trying to make up time with Brantley. What is time with Brantley? What does Dad and Brantley do now to make up time with him?
Oh, just about anything. We really like going different places and trying different foods. He's big on that now. We like to we're really big on watching car crash compilations on YouTube right now. I don't know why.
There's
nothing wrong with
that.
But we he's big into sports. I've never been worth a fuck at a sport a day in my life. So becoming a sports dad is quite quite different.
That's how it was for me as a dance mom, because I'm really not that,
Was Brad a
goody.
dancer?
Yes, no, it was not.
Pink
But I can
pony
remember,
club.
yeah. But I can remember. I mean, I can't even pull a ponytail up and hear. Sydney was doing dance stuff, and I'd be like, "This is so fucking stupid." I'm that mom that was probably may have drank a little bit before she went in to sit at practice.
You're like in the back, like, you should quit.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Just whenever you're ready to quit,
This is
mom's good with that.
This is the same mom who used 9/11 to not take her kids trick or treating. Listen to our Halloween episode. You'll
Are you shitting me?
I hated Halloween.
That's my favorite holiday.
And that's my point. That's the whole.
Well, so I'm glad you're getting to spend time with Brantley.
Well, so I do have a question with Brantley. Did you explain to him, and does he realize, even though he's young,
that you've quit drinking?
that you've quit drinking, or that you were? I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm sure your nonsense was normal to
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, living in two different houses, he probably understands what's right and what's wrong. That sounds terrible, but, I'm sure his stepdad wasn't doing shit like I did.
Yeah.
Huh?
He just thought that I was wild and crazy, Shout
That's cool.
Yeah. Shout
I
out
mean, seriously.
Shout out to him for setting a good example when I wasn't. And
that right there is big.
Yes,
what
it
you
is.
just said is a big
Absolutely,
thing.
it is.
and
So kudos to you for that.
he's great to him. I couldn't ask for any better. He treats him better than he could even treat his own kid if he wanted to.
That's great.
And like he took him youth hunting. I don't hunt. I don't give a shit about hunting. He did tell me that he had quite the hard time staying quiet. He's like, I don't know if hunting's for me or not, Dad. I said, why is that? And he said, well, I just had to be quiet the whole time.
And I think now that I think that's why they would never take me. It was always
No.
the guys are going, my dad, my brother, my uncles, but they never asked me to go, and I think that's probably
Oh,
why.
both of my stepdaughters hunt, and they also both bitch about how loud I am all the time. So,
Well, I did go, and I will have to say, I killed my first deer, and I was quiet, or I thought I was. Now, the person I was with may disagree with that, but I thought I got the job done.
It was just the trust.
But I will
It's
have to
okay.
say about that, though, is when I did, she had come out into the field with her baby.
Oh.
I mean, the baby was not nursing. I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was okay. And I was like, I had seen her the day before, and I'm like, I'm dropping this bitch if she comes back up here.
I'm pretty
And
sure
sure
you
enough,
got
she did. And as soon as I did, of course, the baby kind of jumped and took off, and I started bawling. It was horrible to think that I was like, how did I kill that baby's mom in front, so, but.
Well, man, I'm sure Brantley's going to listen to this episode at one point in time and be like,
Yeah,
holy
but
shit, man.
So did you sit down, did you explain to him?
we had a conversation about it. He said, I'm so happy. And I was like, that kind of hit me a little different. He goes, I'm so happy you're not drinking anymore. And he gave me a hug. And I was like, motherfucker. Like, I've really been missing out on all this just by how I was, blacking out, drinking, not remembering shit. And I wouldn't, like, whenever I had him, the times that he was with me, I wouldn't, indulge very much. Like, I didn't like, obviously kids are going to see their parents drink, whatever.
Yeah.
He talks about other people in his life drinking and whatnot. And, he, for what he is, he's smart, like sometimes too smart for his own good. And he, he knew that sometimes I would get drunk, and some nights I would go in there and hold him and cry, and he would cry because I was crying.
Oh, wow.
It was, we would go to my mom's grave, and he tells Stacy now that I'm not allowed to go with him to the graveyard because I would get too drunk and cry.
Yeah, it's not funny, but it's just the way you tell it.
But
Yeah.
I think it's okay for our kids to see that, because whenever I decided to go off the rails for a bit, I let my kids witness it. I mean, they were adults, but they needed to witness it because they needed to see that I'm not perfect.
You're not okay.
And I'm not okay. And if you ever get in this situation, it's okay to...
It gives you a sense of feeling to be able to take care of each other, really.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what just I hate so much is that everybody thinks they have to bottle up feelings. And I do. I can't. If I sat here and said, oh, I express my feelings all the time, that's a lie. I mean, and you know too, I have been very open about the fact right now I'm struggling really hard. I don't even know what I need to do to get the help that I need. Coming here and talking and doing this helps. But we don't just sit down and say, hey, this is what's bothering me. This is how I'm feeling. I can't deal with this. I need your help. We don't want to do that because I know in our jobs, we've talked about it.
It's a week.
You run a motor vehicle accident with your fire department. You come back, you clean everything up, then you go and run an EMS call with the EMS. You never have a chance to just sit down and be, okay, let me think about what I just did.
And even if you do, you can't show it because in the fire service, that's a weakness. They will make fun of you. They will give you a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
It's not okay to be not okay.
And I think there's nothing wrong with Brantley seeing you cry, seeing you upset about that. I don't see a problem with that, but so many people think that they have to go hide behind, in the bathroom door, the bathroom or whatever to hide how they feel. Don't let people see that. Because I can't tell you how many times I've sat up there in which Janet would flip shit with my natural light at the cemetery. And sometimes I went up there with that attitude of, you would be so pissed off knowing I'm sitting here drinking a beer with you,
I remember my first Mother's Day. I had a lawn chair and a case of beer and sat at her headstone. And by the end of the night, I had a whole group of people, and we all sat there and drank.
Yep.
And, that was cool. Like, I was glad that I had friends that showed up for me like that. Half the town of Wortham was up there drinking beer with me. She was probably rolling over in her grave, but
well, man, I'm really glad that you're taking the time with Brent. I'm really glad you've decided to take a change in your life and take a different path and be a good dad. Not that you weren't before, but you're more attentive now.
Yeah, I my not give a shit attitude was not a good parenting style, and I'm glad that I've had Stacy these last few years to
look after you.
Yeah, and him.
And that's what you have this baby that comes home with you. You're young. Nobody gives you a book on how this is what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
And I can think back. I can tell you right now, I did not parent my kids the way I was parented. And I know now my granddaughter's not being parented because it's not the same world we live in. I didn't raise Brett and Cindy in the world that I lived in. But I also, and we just had this conversation before Brandon got here, I know my mom would not like, and she didn't like some of the ways I raised my kids because I wanted this transparency of, if you are going to drink, call me. I know you're 20, you're going to be doing this. You're 18, I know you're going to be thinking that. And I tried to provide them with those resources. Did I fuck up? Oh yeah, I know I did, because I blame myself for some of the things of how they process and what's going on in their lives now.
See, it was always cool. I like to think about it like my dad pretty much let me be me, and that's how I like to be with Brantley. I like to let him be him, like whatever.
I really like when you guys twin.
Yeah,
that's probably one of my favorite things on Facebook.
Like how he's feeling. Like if he wants to say how he feels, I let him express his feelings. Like my dad was always cool. Like he would, whenever I was in high school, we'd drink at the house. He'd take our keys. That's what my grandparents did to him. We went on senior trip. Dad was the first motherfucker to get voted in to go.
That's awesome.
We got on senior trip. He rented an 8-man golf cart, and he was buying everybody's alcohol and shit. And I was rocking a fake ID. I thought I was hot shit, and I walk into this thank you'll come again type place, and bought 8 cases of Bush.
Jeez.
I come back across to the hotel with a dolly. Dude, let me take the dolly. I got 8 cases of Bush. My dad's got this 8-man golf cart full of alcohol, and he's like, "What the fuck? I don't need you, bitch."
That's funny.
Well, so, okay. No, go ahead. Because I was going to ask you a question on kind of where we can, if you don't mind. We've totally screwed the script. But so we talked about the sobriety part and the addiction. Can we touch on mental health now? Are you ready to? I know we kind of, I mean, I was looking through our lost sobriety and strength, but we've really, that's what usually happens. Tyler and I lay this out because he and I get off the charts so bad about stuff. But, we've covered a lot of this, but you struggled with mental health too.
Yeah, in a facility.
So did you, were you younger too? Like I knew at 5 years old, I was diagnosed with a nervous stomach. No, that's low-key anxiety, and so did you always struggle with it, or was it that the day that your mom died that the alcohol then kicked in with the mental health?
No, it was way before
Explain
my mom.
that to us if you don't mind.
So I've always, like I said, drank, and it kind of kicked off the night that my uncle died out there in Irondale. I was at my sister's house Friday night. It's Friday. We're about to get fucked up. I
got shit to do.
Yeah. I pop the top on my first beer. Shit's about to go down. Take a drink. I get a phone call. Shit hits the fan. I hauling ass to Irondale. And it was I did a lot of, like I said, I don't like EMS calls. I don't like being in charge of somebody else's, well-being. And I felt like the way I always described it to the guys at the firehouse, anybody else, I felt like my training had let me down. Everything that I'd ever learned, everything that I was supposed to do.
That algorithm.
It did not work. Why didn't it work?
And Brent, I'm going to cut in real quick. I don't know if you mind if I share this, but just some details from my view that night. It was paged out as a full arrest. We get there, we start working code, and from the background I hear the voice of Brandon Hall. I didn't at the time realize that it was your uncle. I hear Brandon come in, hysterical. One of us was shoved out of the way for Brandon to attempt to take over. And that is when we had to drag him down the hallway to remove him from that environment, because as Sadie said last week, you're trying to help, but at that time you're just in the way. But that was a very...
Well, because I think that's where you have to, when you have the training and it's family involved, that's where you've got to stop, let them take over and be family.
But in a hysterical state.
But you can't do that. That's.
But yes, that I'll let you continue, but I didn't want to cut in on that.
No, you're good. So that kind of sparked it, and I ran a couple more calls after that had shitty outcomes. So I was questioning a lot of shit, and whenever, I like to say when I got locked up,
Grippy sock vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Lockie's going on one of those at some point in time.
Yeah.
I probably should have been 3 or 4, honestly.
Whenever I got locked up
from inside,
I've learned that everybody has a clock over their head, and whenever that clock ticks, it's not your problem. It's not your fault. Like, it's time, and no matter what you do, is not going to change the outcome. Don't question God's authority. That's what it comes down to. Just don't, because you'll put yourself in a spot that will get you 3 hots and some grippy socks, and that's a shitty place to be.
How long were you in?
I was in there for 2 weeks.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Do you mind to share what put you there? If not, that's
myself.
So you did a voluntary?
Well, I went to the doctor, and I was trying to get some type of medication, and they're like, "Oh, we can try you on this, we can try you on that," and it's kind of like listen, bitch, if you don't put me somewhere right now to get this shit straight, I'm going to lay my brains in your goddamn parking lot. And she's like, whoa. So the next thing I know, I'm handcuffed to a bed in an all-metal room, holding my wallet like this, because I sold a car the night before, because, you know, I peddle all kinds of shit. But I'd sold a car the night before, and I had $6,000 cash in my wallet. And they took all my belongings. And they're like, we got to take your wallet. I said, you ain't taking my wallet. My dad will be here in about 20 minutes. I said, I will hold it right here in this handcuff. You can sit at that fucking desk across from this bed, and you can look at me holding this wallet all you want, but it's not leaving this hand until it goes into my dad's. Because I know damn good well how that shit works. Like, oh man, this motherfucker's got $6,000.
No kidding.
He ain't gonna mind 3's missing. Like, no, wasn't working like that. So I'm sitting here like this, wallet in one hand, finger in the other. This lady is pissed. Like, listen, lady, I put myself here, but you are not taking this. And I'm arguing with this bitch. Like, I will talk shit until the day I die. That's how it's gonna work. And I'm talking 9 kinds of shit, just out of my ass, just to keep her on edge until my dad walked in the door. He walked in, I said, hey. And he's like, God damn it, why do you have that much money on you? I was like, I sold the car last night, I haven't had time to make it to the bank. And she's like, he wasn't going to let me take that. He's very adamant that, you know, you take that. He goes, yeah, I wouldn't let me take my fucking wallet either, lady. She kind of...
She's like, oh, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
She kind of knew what she got herself into at that point. But, so I ended up getting transported down to Dexter by a St. Francis County ambulance with paramedics that I've worked with my entire life.
Well, that's nice. At least you knew who you were taking.
Yeah, so wasn't supposed to have my phone. I did. That's the one point in time where it pays to have friends in low places. It's like, hey, I really need to make a couple phone calls. Like, I have some people that I have to do some explaining to, and they're like, give me that side eye.
Yeah.
Like, you know you're not supposed to have
never done, and I always count respirations too. I've never allowed anything like that to happen.
And I looked, the man's since retired, and I looked at him straight up. I said, listen, I got to call my fucking job. Nobody else can do that for me.
Yeah.
And he knew that I wasn't trying to dick around and do anything or do anything, you know, to get out. We had that understanding. I said, you can sit right behind me here, and I will put everything up where you can see it. I said, but I have to call my employer and let them know why I'm not going to be there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, my dad can't do it. He don't have the right contacts. Like, they're going to take my shit when we get here.
Huh?
And, you know, he was cool enough to, like, I didn't get to keep it the whole time. I was kind of slept a lot. Like, I was just exhausted. And
like you felt like you had met peace.
Yeah. Like, I was just like I died. It's like, here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I was locked in there with some crazy motherfuckers. Like, I heard some shit and I seen some shit.
And I think that's sometimes you need that to realize that maybe
you're not as crazy.
I'm not as crazy as I think I am. Well, so you brought up something interesting because, and Tyler and I have talked about this, that when I went to the doctor, and when you're a female, you go to your gynecologist and you know, spit all this out, and it's like, well, I think that's probably a medical. So they send you to the medical, and then they say, well, that's probably your hormones. And I can remember in Mercy Jeff, I went up to the gynecologist, and I basically said the same thing you did, not as detailed, but it was, had she been in the back of my ambulance, we'd have marched upstairs and said, you know, first party for one here. This crazy bitch is here.
Yeah.
And that's where I lost all of my, that's where I lost it. No, if a professional, and I told you how I was feeling, didn't help me, well, who's going to help me?
Yeah.
And I think that was my deep end for sure.
I think I scared the shit out of my doctor.
No.
She was pretty upset about it.
So are you medicated now?
Oh, yeah. Heavily medicated. I have been since 2019.
So how did you do that and mix your alcohol?
I was just fucked up all the time. I don't know. I just took my medicine every morning and drank all day.
I'm sure you were taking, popping your Xanax and citalopram with your Busch Light, whatever, that nasty shit you drink.
I just take Boost Bar, Fexer, Wellbutrin, and acid reflux medicine. Like, I don't take anything hard. It's just a kind of a stabilizer. It stabilizes my mood. Like, no Xanax, no.
Did you go to therapy?
No.
Why not?
Because the therapist pissed me off.
And that Tom Hill's episode, therapy isn't for everybody.
And it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
So it comes down to, why the fuck would I pay some bitch to sit there and listen to my problems when I know damn good and well they don't give a shit about me. They're here for a paycheck. I'm taking their kids on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, give me what I need.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to know what I know because you don't fucking care. And everybody always would argue with me on that. And I'm like,
no, man, it's true.
Like, what? You don't know me from Adam. You don't give a shit whether I walk out here. You just want to make sure my insurance is good. You want to make sure that payment's great. Like, I understand it from a paying aspect. It'd be different if I went to somebody for free.
Yeah.
Like, and, it sounds stupid. Like, I'm not asking for a handout. But if I went to somebody and they're like, hey, I want to talk to you, and they're a therapist, and I kind of have one of those. She's, I guess, some sort of counselor or some type of shit. And, she's one of the firemen's wives. She's had me cornered in the firehouse several times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And rode my ass pretty hard. And, I knew that she gave a shit. Whenever you tell your story and somebody physically cries, that is on the counseling therapy aspect of it, that's when you know they give a shit. And
for sure.
You go to a licensed therapist to get your meds, and they're like, you say something. How does that make you feel? You say something. Well, how does that make you feel? How the fuck do you think it makes me feel, bitch?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're going to keep asking the same goddamn question? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
well, and I'm pro therapy if it works for you too, but I know that there comes a point that I just realized I don't need what the little lady over at Great Minds can offer for me. I need something. And honestly, I have found it in doing this and just sitting out by the fire and,
like we did.
And I'm not medicated. I am not. I have I guess I have a clear head. I talk to myself a lot. I don't drink,
Talk to yourself a lot?
I do talk to myself a lot. Like full
hey, how's it going? Good, how are you?
Well, man, I'm beyond thankful you're here with us. I'm glad we get to sit in this room and I get to edit this, and I'll probably cry, laugh, and shit my pants as we're going through this. But I'm really glad you're here with us today, man. I'm very proud of you. Even though you have ridden my ass throughout the years, Brandon, I'm very proud of you, and I love you like a brother.
Appreciate that.
Like he does too.
It'd be probably more like a son. I'm that old.
But you're somebody in life that's always inspired me and kicked my ass down the road to keep me going. And we've had our conversations, and I'm really glad. What'd you think when I reached out to you to do this podcast? What'd you think about that?
I mean, I had to process it first. I'm like, man, what the fuck would I even talk about? Like, why would people want to listen to what I have to say?
Well, I tell you what, I have a feeling this episode's going to be quite a few people listening. A lot of people are excited. You inspired Tommy Hill to come on, and I'm pretty sure quite a few other people.
Yeah.
And you're loved by many, brother. You're loved by a lot of people.
And so, how are you handling things now with the sober mind? And do you recognize things in people now and have you reached out to anybody that you knew, maybe that you partied with before or whatever? I mean, because you're going to be helping somebody. I can tell you right now,
sure.
Anybody that listens to this that may even kind of be struggling, you're going to have
an impact.
Yes. And I mean, and because that's just naturally how we are. If that crazy son of a bitch can do it, there's no reason why I can't. And I know some people take that as an insult, but I mean, seriously, Brandon, if you can do it,
Anybody
can't.
Yeah.
I know you were deep in your demons, and I'm sure they still come and dance every now and then with you.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
What would you do now for somebody? How would you be different about it? Because I think before you probably would have kind of joked about it, but now, how are you going to handle it?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I haven't made it that far.
I'll tell you what. How about you come back and do another episode with us? We get 6 months or so down the road, and we'll talk about it some more.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, we see how it goes. I mean, maybe somebody will reach out after this. I haven't really.
And I truly hope somebody. I hope somebody either reaches out to you because this episode inspired them. I hope they reach out to us. I truly hope we're doing a good thing just by doing this because you are a very well respected person in this community.
I appreciate that. I hope it does reach somebody, and like I said, at this point, it's kind of been more about trying to get my shit together.
And I definitely, and you better, or else you're gonna be in trouble. But
yeah,
who has been your biggest fan, no matter what?
Oh, Stacy for sure. She
Because I'm sure she's seen the good, the bad, and the very ugly.
Oh yeah, she's seen a lot of shit, and
I would like to know her perspective on dealing with you.
Oh yeah,
because I think that's forgotten a lot of times that an alcoholic struggles with her alcohol, but I don't think that. And did you realize the shit that you were putting her through and the family? Did you really truly?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew most of it, but I didn't really care. That's shitty to say.
No, it's.
Yeah, I mean, I own it. Like, I knew what I was doing, but I was just at a point where...
You didn't care?
No, I didn't care what happened or where anything went. Like, I tried at one point in time to get her to go have a better life, and for some reason, she...
saw the good in you and didn't give up on you.
Yeah, she stuck it out.
Well, kudos to her. I would like to have her. I truly would like to have her on here and see how. I'd like to see her side of the story because, like I said, man, you are a very big person in this community, whether you realize it or not. You're like a local celebrity.
I don't know about all that, but
well, he told me I'm right.
No, you are.
You're. Well, we're gonna get closer to wrapping this thing up.
Yes.
We are going to do a rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you just come the first thing comes to mind. How's that sound?
Lay it on me.
All right, feller. So, coffee or energy drink before a call?
Energy drink.
Not that you really have the time, but energy drink, all right. Favorite firehouse meal or snack?
Probably when Charlie makes steaks.
Ooh, there you go. Country.
What fire department? I'll sign up for steaks. My God. Does he have potato too? And like the
it's
salad
it's
before? Is there a dessert? Because I will definitely sign up.
I don't remember the dessert part, but we definitely laid it down on steak and potatoes. And then Charlie does a mean breakfast too.
Oh,
like if we stay the night at the firehouse, like I remember getting woke up with pots and pans, garden hose, SCBA bottles cracked open in my face at 6 a.m. to get up for breakfast. And he's got like this whole spread. It's like going to a buffet for breakfast.
Well, you know what probably makes those steaks so good? It's probably the salt from that mustache.
Yeah.
So country music, rock, or podcasts on the way to a call?
Rock for sure.
Gotcha. If you weren't a firefighter, what job do you think you would have tried?
Well, I don't really use it as a job.
Well, a second hobby, should I say?
I probably would have done a lot more fishing.
A lot more fishing. That's something I haven't heard on here before. Funniest thing you've ever heard on a radio during a call? It wouldn't surprise me. It's not one of me.
No, that's Charlie again. He told Washington County that Rudolph was leading us home one night. That was pretty funny. Because it was in a blinding snow and we couldn't see shit.
Dog or a cat person? I already know the answer to this one.
Yeah, I'm a cat person. I got 6 of them bad boys.
Yeah.
Favorite tool to grab off the truck as soon as you come off it?
Man, it sounds crazy, but I'm a big Halligan person.
So am I. I feel you there. Pumper or tanker?
Pumper for sure.
hidden talent most people don't know about you.
I don't have any talents.
No talents, none at all?
No.
Well,
I think that's... I'm going to call bullshit on that.
Why?
I know that you have talents.
Name one.
You're funny.
You can
No.
You can sell shit.
And you can sing.
I don't know about all that.
You can sell shit.
You can sing.
You can
he could probably sell ice to us.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
First thing you do when you get home after a long day from work, now that you're sober.
Oh, I'd sit in my chair and take my shoes off.
That was Sadie's answer last week. Boy, that's a pretty hot.
I think that's the equivalent to a bra.
Yeah, that
for
or
the guys.
That or I run upstairs and I do that whole like run and jump, kick my feet up and fall on my bed.
Oh, there you go.
And then never leave it for the evening.
One word that describes the Fire family to you. You can use multiple if you have to.
God.
How about BAMF?
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of created that term.
Mm-hmm.
That was, yeah, we even had that stickered in trucks.
Yeah, and that big-ass tanker you guys had.
As a BAMF hauler. No, it's just camaraderie. And I mean, I don't even know how you describe family as a word whenever they're not really your family, but they're
your
my family.
Yeah. So, Brandon, thank you again so much for sharing your story with us today, for being honest about both your struggles and your growth, your dedication to your department, your family, your personal journey through that embodies, it definitely embodies the Voices of Valor series that we're doing. You've shown that courage doesn't always wear a helmet. Sometimes it's the decision to change, to heal, to live with purpose. And by honoring your mom's memory through the way you live and lead, you're showing what real valor looks like. I do have one final question we've asked everybody on here so far. If you could leave our listeners with one message, something you've learned from your years of service, fatherhood, loss, and recovery, what would it be?
Never leave on bad terms with anybody. I don't care how, what kind of relationship you have. If you got somebody, a mom, a dad, a sister, a friend, and you're having some type of tiff with them and you're not talking, it ain't worth it. Because you never know whenever, it's going to be somebody's last day, and you'll have to live with that for the rest of your life.
That's true. What does the word valor mean to you?
Valor, I would put it with, honor, courage, and respect.
That's a good one.
That was, something like if you're gonna have valor, it's something that you have to be proud of, something that is honorable, and that's what it means to me.
That's a good answer, man. Again, brother, I really do appreciate you coming on here. I truly believe that you have inspired and will continue to inspire once this episode releases people to come join us and talk with us, and I hope we get to do this again. I really thank you for coming all the way out here today.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
Yes, very proud of you,
Thank
brother.
you.
And I hope you stick with it. And if you ever get to a weak point where you don't think you can, call me and I will come sit with you and do whatever I got to do.
Thank you.
You can even ride my ass like the old days. But
I don't think I have anything for you to do that for. But you ain't got no fire trucks to drive.
That's true. I'm fire truckless these days, but well, that was an episode with Brandon Hall, guest number 5 here on Voices of Valor. Brandon is now on our wall of valor, and his story was definitely one to look back on and reflect, and I truly hope it inspires people. Don't forget, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcastle, and YouTube. We're making it all over the map here, Locke. Check out our Facebook page, which we've been updating quite a bit here recently.
We've got a lot going on.
We have a whole lot going on. We've got TikTok, which we're starting to get into. I made a goofy TikTok the other day. Don't forget, we're sponsored by W Energy, or partnered with W Energy. You can use promo code Mayhem25, get 10% off all of their products on their website. Don't forget to check out our website, www.midwestmayhempodcast.com. You can listen to all of our episodes. You can learn about Lockie and I. You can check out all kinds of different things. So go on there, check it out. Stay connected with us, Facebook, TikTok. We're now on X, although not too many people use that anymore. And again, we had Brandon Hall with us today. Brandon, you have anything you want to say to anybody? Any shout-outs before we go?
No, I mean, shout out to my family for keeping up with me and putting up my ass.
There you go. Lockie?
Well, and I think we're heading into the holiday season, and this is a time that is tough for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find yourself needing to talk or whatever, we do have the 988, which is, I believe, nationwide. If not, I know it's Missouri-wide. But reach out to us either on our Facebook page or us individually if you know us. But you don't have to do it alone.
Nope.
And even I will, if you want to go sit at the cemetery, I'll go sit with you. And I may be calling you to come and sit with me, but I don't ever want the phone call.
For sure.
So please, with us going into the holiday season, be safe, and if you need to talk, reach out.
Well, everybody, we will not be back until after Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving from the Midwest Mayhem podcast crew, and we'll be back on December 7th out of studio. We will be at Checkpoint Coffee and Canteen with Adam Wells, who is a former military and law enforcement officer, doing an interview with him. And after that, we've got Justin Barton coming up, who's a St. Francis County deputy, a good friend of mine, good friend of Lockie's.
It'll be the Barton trifecta.
It will be a trifecta for sure. Well, you've been here with us. We've had a BLT today.
Absolutely.
Brandon, Lockie, and Tyler deal here. But Brandon, again, thank you so much. And we will talk to you guys after the Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holiday. If you need something, get a hold of us. We love all you guys so much, and I can't wait to be back. Other than that, I'm your host, Tyler.
And I'm Lockie.
And this is Midwest Mayhem, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Midwest Mayhem podcast. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Podcasting. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube for new episodes and behind-the-scenes moments. Visit MidwestMayhemPodcast.com to learn more or to sign up for Voices of Valor. Stay safe, stay kind, and as always, keep the mayhem alive. Catch you next time.